Good evening and welcome to this edition of Tok Piksa. Gulf Province, along with Western and the National Capital District, has been in the spotlight recently because of its growing tuberculosis epidemic. Tuberculosis is widespread in Gulf, with a growing number of men, women and children now diagnosed with multi-drug-resistant TB. Our journalist, Quinton Alomp, visited Kerema Hospital recently for the opening of the new TB ward. Medical experts there told him that the situation is out of control. Statistics gathering in Gulf is limited, and experts fear that as people socialize in the communities, the bacteria will spread even more rapidly.
Gulf Province is in the midst of a tuberculosis epidemic with growing numbers of multi-drug resistant TB cases. Between January and June last year, 13 patients were confirmed with multi-drug resistant TB. In that 6-month period, 199 people were confirmed to have TB. At the provincial hospital in Kerema, about 5 patients die every day from this airborne bacterium.
Okay, TB is a killer disease, and TB kills nearly 5 to 10 people a day. Not only in Kerema Hospital, but also out in the rural health facilities. So you just imagine that 5 people dying every day. That's quite a lot. Every day we see TB patients. We have a lot of TB cases in the province, but we are not reporting the. So in a month we see about 10 to 20 patients. That's how bad the TB burden is in this province.
Elvis Pairica is the Provincial Disease Control Officer. He told us statistics are limited only to patients detected at the Kerema Hospital and does not in any way represent the true numbers in the province.
Normally we have 22 health facilities in the province, and these 22 health facilities, they struggle to report. So not all the health facilities in the province do report to us. We have a very bad reporting system, and our statistics has not been good. We are just below 50%. Below 50%, I would say. So that's how we are struggling at the moment. That's been a challenge to us here in the province.
Statistics, or the lack of them, remain one of the biggest barriers when it comes to reporting. The 22 health facilities in the province struggle to submit quarterly reports, but the provincial health authorities believe the situation is worse in rural areas where access to a health facility and treatment is limited. Human resources is another concern. Most of the nurses in the province are doing general duties, including TB treatment. Recently, the provincial health authorities had finalized and were ready to advertise new positions for medical officers, but as the administrative process drags on, many of the nurses fear their safety. They fear that one day they might fall victims of tuberculosis themselves.
But then we need to train people on those hotspots to look after the multi-drug resistant TB. Multi-drug resistant TB is a serious TB.
As people staff now, we no one TB officers, only general nurses and all community health workers staff. But in the current structure, now people are I got one else, I got TB officers, so while you focus on TB, now reporting and all this program by working.
Gulf Province, with a population just over 150,000, faces significant barriers to accessing medical care and treatment. It is estimated that in areas where transportation is difficult, the rate of multi-drug resistant TB cases would be high because patients will have difficulty following up and receiving regular medication on time. Gulf Governor Avila Cavo said the provincial government has paid freight cost for an airliner to carry medication to the rural airstrips.
For the last couple of years, drugs were brought down from Port Moresby and stockpiled in our storage here, but they were never distributed to the rural hospitals, including TB drugs. For that, this year, last year, the provincial government, through my PSIP, has committed 500,000 to New Guinea ASA nightly runs of supplying all medical services to the most remote part of the province.
Recently, a non-government organization, Medicine Sans Frontier, with the help of the provincial government, opened a new TB ward in Kerema. The state-of-the-art TB facility will replace this old house, which currently houses the patients.
A lot of people here come with TB, and we find it hard to treat them. Sometimes, most times we treat them, but when they go back home and come for review, they don't turn up because of a lot of logistic problems.
The National Health Department has declared Gulf, Western and NCD as TB hotspots in the country. With 700 cases out of every 100,000 people diagnosed, the increase in incidences of TB is not an emergency anymore, but a disaster. Deputy Health Secretary Dr. Paison Dakulala said many cases are not tested and confirmed in laboratory, but through signs and symptoms.
And TB diagnosis is mainly by symptoms instead of laboratory confirmation.
The agency in preventing tuberculosis is not only the priority of the national government and NGOs, but is part of the United Nations Millennium Development Goals. The MDG's goal number 6 aims to eradicate HIV, malaria and other diseases, including TB, by 2015. PNG is among the 191 UN member countries that agreed to those goals, but limited progress has been made so far. With limited availability of data and, in most cases, government and NGOs providing different statistics, it will possibly affect the country's rating in the UN.
The biggest challenge that I see is trying to get the figures right, so that we are clearly talking about the same language, same figures. MSF give the figure, World Vision give the figure, NDOH give the figure. I think it has to be one, and so that's one of the challenges that we have to get work toward.
As the country stays focused on lowering incidences of TB in the hotspot provinces, funding, capacity and manpower is what is needed to see more positive change in the province health sector.
You're watching Tok Piksa. We travel now to Malalaua Station as Quinton Alon reports on the challenges facing police there. Because of no logistics and manpower, police officers in Malalaua have found themselves in a situation where they can no longer attend to complaints. Law and order problems have increased, but police have no vehicles, dinghies and outboard motors to attend to complaints. The police officers stationed there say they urgently need these logistics to curb crimes before the Gulf LNG project gets established.
Hundreds of people in Malalaua district in Gulf province have been denied access to police and the justice system. Police have not been responding to law and order complaints since last year. People who lay complaints at the Malalaua police station have waited for months for police to attend to their complaints. Many have now come to realize the reason why police officers are not as responsive as they should be. In a word, it's transportation or the lack of it. The district police post have no vehicles, dinghies or outboard motors to its name. Officer in charge of the Malalaua Rural Police Post, Robin Bukil, says they are handicapped and can only perform the duties within the station and in nearby villages.
Now Malalaua, firstly, mipla nogat car, moto na dinghy because mipla got them all villages along the coast, river, along the rivers. Na mipla in short through lo lislol kan web lo transporter, look lo place land side lo law and order. Sometimes arrest him all, or attend him all complaints lo coast along the rivers say hard street lo mipla.
At this stage we have a big crime rate which law cannot handle because we are handicapped, no funding from government to assist us with logistics, things like cars, outboard motor, dinghies. Yeah. So we are a bit stranded here, but the crime rate is now very high.
Having no vehicles, dinghies and outboard motors means police have to depend on complainants to provide transport.
So we rely on complainants, especially lo providing transport lo people police lo go attending all complaints where people are not supposed to make him.
Police manpower is also critical in the district, with only 5 regular police officers serving a population of over 100,000. It means one officer looks after over 21,000 people.
Police manpower lo here too short. People rely on auxiliaries, all reservists, now all CBCs. Only make him number of people police who want regulars and people pipe as all. Which me one club long acting station commander.
The office is run down and needs maintenance. As the police officers remain handicapped, the crime rate continues to rise. Reported cases of marijuana smuggling between the borders of Gulf and Morobe are increasingly common.
Law and order problems and big platform, especially drugs.
Rape, murder, and drug smuggling. These are the very big issues that is affecting the Gulf.
Cases of rape are also on the rise, and unwanted behavior caused by drunkards is becoming a common sight.
So we usually record about 20 a day or say 30 a day, roughly.
The plight of the Malalaua police has been noticeable, but the district administration has not been supportive. Sources within the administration admit that there is a breakdown in administrative leadership, which has resulted in deteriorating infrastructure and low esteem from government workers.
How can we meet up with the leader, meet up with him to discuss our situation, discuss our problem, if he's not in office? And that's the kind of situations we are now in at the moment.
The police in particular are appealing for help and called on the local MP, Richard Mendani, and its district administrator to address their concerns.
Maybe all the line can think na halbi mi plalo silo transport and by good plamo. Look lo big pla project lo kama lo galp. Malalaua em gateway lo province so mi plan need lo establish him good pla set up lo police lo here. First time before lo this la project come. So PPC blow mi pla too been to plenty lo this la all problems. Side blow accommodation, manpower blow policeman. So PPC am talk strong lo this la something too. So me too me supporting him stuff.
Police Commissioner Gary Bucky is aware of the plight of the Malalaua police and has promised to discuss the matter with his senior officers in attempts to rectify the problems they have.
You're with Tok Piksa. The Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary has come under public scrutiny and criticism over the past 5 years because of the increase in police brutality cases and the breakdown in command and control. While much of the blame has been leveled at the kind of training police officers receive at the Bomana Police Training College, Police Commissioner Gary Bucky has defended the training recruits are receiving. Last month, EMTV News spent an entire day filming at the college to give an insight into the kind of training police recruits endure every day. Tekla Gunga with this story.
The Bomana Police Training College is the one center in the country that prepares men and women who have chosen to serve Papua New Guinea as disciplinary officers. Every year, over 250 recruits come here to begin a career in the police force. Much emphasis is placed on self-discipline, time management, and respect towards oneself and those in authority.
Basically, it's all about attitude, changing the attitude of our staff so that they can do what they are good at doing rather than doing routine things. So that is the most important, change the attitude. And there's small things that we'd like to change the facelift of the college. That we have the training college guards that is operating, the cleanliness of the college, enforcing the college standing orders, which is very important for any organization to survive and achieve its purpose. It is that enforcing the college standing orders. It's one of the challenges that I thought something that we should look at.
A normal day at the Bomana Police Training College begins as early as 4 o'clock in the morning. Recruits begin the day with a morning parade, which begins at 5 a.m. sharp. This is coordinated in 4 companies, where each one is required to report to the parade host and account for all its members. This parade can go on for hours until all marching requirements are passed and the parade host satisfied. Between 8 to 10 a.m., recruits undergo TV lessons on law proceedings. Such lessons are designed to enhance individuals' understanding on the Constitution and in particular the Criminal Code Act. EMTV was invited to film a few TV lessons on how recruits are supposed to respond when complaints are made at police stations. This group was presenting their approach on how they would respond to an homicide case, while the second lot gave their approach towards a case involving sex workers. All TV lessons are coordinated through a supervisor. Physical training is a core part of the training here, and all recruits are required to run 8 laps in a day. These laps exclude the distance they run from their barracks to the training fields and back. During physical training, recruits undergo different exercises to build their physical strength and mind power. Group work is emphasized here, and individual participation is closely monitored. Apart from the practical training, recruits have a feel of how a police station is supposed to operate. This is the police station within the college that gets reports from surrounding areas. So far, it has recorded at least 200 cases, most of which are referred to the Gordon's police station.
Okay, about the model police station in here, we perform all police duties, except CRE matters we refer. Okay, we have books in here, station books, but we must make sure that what we do is shown to the administration. So initially, this is the form that when the complaint is reported at the duty counter here, and a person is not attending to that, we invite by providing invitation forms for them to come here to attend for the complaint. If they don't, we make sure that peacefully we invite them to come. If they don't come, then we attend to complaint using vehicles as police duties. And also, the situation arises if the matter is indictable offences, we refer to Gordon's police station where there is minor crimes. So this is a file that our referral forms are copy kept in here, plus the hobby numbers from here, Gordon's. We must make sure that we do the follow-ups and make sure that particular complaint is attended.
For meals, recruits are required to dress appropriately and wash up their eating utensils after each meal. A tour of the dormitories revealed how uniform the rooms were, from how boots were placed to how the beds were made. Each recruit is supplied with 2 pairs of uniform with shoes and toiletries.
All right, I'm Senior Constable Tony Hasu. I'm attached to administration at the college. And right now we're in the building of the Squad 3 barracks, at the recruit male barracks. We're inside this male barracks. As you can see, all this beddings layout is all in inspection order. It's always in the morning and in the afternoon, where they finish their lunch, or when they finish their breakfast, they used to come and place all this in order, so it is ready for any officers on duty or those who are inspecting the barracks. They come in and they inspect this area. Right now, I'm just standing beside the bed of a recruit who has put these beddings in an inspection room for an inspection officer to come and inspect that. We have eating utensils is placed on the bed. We have the blankets at the bottom, and we have the pillows is on the front. That is a recruit sleeping bed. On the other side, we have the recruits' belongings, which are uniforms that is officially issued by the department. Any civilian clothes is not going to be exposed for inspection, except for issued uniforms, which is given by for training purposes. It's going to be displayed for inspection. Apart from that, you can see across, they are all in order. We have there's everything in order. Now, one thing that when an inspection officer comes to inspect, we used to inspect everything that has been placed for inspection. The shoes that is down there, the shoes has to be polished. The GP boots, the physical training PD shoes, we call it, they need to be washed and cleaned and ready for inspection. And we have the louvers should be wiped and ready. If an inspection officer comes and places his hands and he finds out that there's a dust on his hand, then that particular recruit is at fault. Then he can be punished for not doing his duty, but not being responsible for his cleanliness.
The training ends each afternoon with the lowering of the PNG flag. But the two last things each recruit does before going to bed is to ensure their uniforms are ironed and shoes polished for the next day. What was captured on camera for this story was just a glimpse of the kind of training and discipline required from recruits while training to be police officers. However, once the recruits pass out of Bomana, the decision to uphold and maintain what they have learned becomes an individual decision and responsibility.
And that ends Tok Piksa for tonight. Thank you for watching the program. You can catch a replay of tonight's show this Wednesday evening. And until we do this again next Sunday, I'm Neville Choi. Good night.